Hey, welcome back to Team Woolly Sheep Reviews. I've had a lot of questions about the Dragon with regard to the FPV, so I thought I'd take a more detailed look under the cover, how the FPV is installed, how the camera is installed. I hope you find this helpful. Thank you. As you can see, it's the same as the other one. The label's coming off. Little bees, 20 amp. On this one I've got them actually mounted inside, which was slightly different to the other one. Right, looking at the lid, some of you notice that there's this unit, which is a little add-on that Steph had cut out, basically. That sits on there as a camera protector. Young Rama Rhodes had smashed quite a few cameras, and this was added as an optional extra, and we're trying it out. Right, looking at the lid. As you know, we've put all the FPV in the lid. Personally, I'd have the antenna coming out that way. As I said before, I wouldn't bother putting it vertical like that. 9 times out of 10 you're flying like that, so it's probably better to have the aerial pointing upwards. That could be actually switched around the other way. You could cut some nice holes, a square hole there to give you access to the button and see the LEDs. So that would be a nice little feature. You run the risk obviously of damaging the transmitter. Right, you may see that what cable is coming off. Go into that. That's a switch I put in. This particular transmitter has got a switch between 25 and 200 milliwatt output. So as it stands, with it in is 25, with it out it's 200 milliwatt. As you can see, I've got the camera mounted. I've slotted the section out. I've gone to B&Q's and bought some of this plastic. I think it's designed for cupboard edging. You'd stick it on like so. Very handy for making little brackets for things. Basically what I've done is cut a little bracket, attach the camera to it, single screw, nut and bolt through, job done. To set the camera back as far as I can to make use of this, I've actually cut out 10mm. So I've notched out 10mm the width of the camera to give me a nice camera output. So that's it. That's what I've done with the camera. Nice and simple, but very effective. Does the job perfectly. I did have to notch that out. I got a bit carried away. I wouldn't recommend taking any strength out to the front. That particular area is okay, I suppose. It's not taking any great stress, but that was because I wanted the camera back as far as I possibly could to get it right behind that cover. Yeah, and that's basically it. The camera. I've configured this one. Interesting point. I've configured this one so I've got the yellow cable, which is the video feed, which is going straight to the video transmitter. As you can see, I've got no OSD or any fancy features. The 12 volt supply from the battery goes straight to the receiver to power it, and also branches off to supply the camera. So I've got 12 volts on the camera. If I wasn't going to supply the camera via the 12 volts, I would have connected into, I don't know whether you can just see where the yellow wires go in. There's the camera output, which I believe is 5 volts from the video transmitter. So yeah, that's a personal choice. This camera I've got is 12 volts, so I had to make that alteration. I won't run on 5 volts, so it was pointless trying. As you can see, a little bit of hot glue, because I've had these plugs wiggle them out. With all the vibration, crashing and bashing, you don't want that plug to come out, so a little bit of hot glue just to trap the cables there is sufficient, and I don't have any trouble anymore. So I hope that's helpful, and yes, any questions, let me know and I'll do a little bit more. Maybe, you know, if there's something specific you want to see, then I'll be happy to oblige. Thank you. After making this video, I've got it in pieces, I decided I may as well move the VTX. I drilled a hole in the back end. I notched out for where the lights are. Will fit in there like so. The LEDs are visible. The little hole there for the button. So yeah, obviously I had a hole in the end where the aerial was, so that's why it's a little bit bigger. But no, I can now change the channels without any issues at all. So there it is, revised. As you can see, the VTX is in the end. The aerial is coming out, as I said, at the end, and that's basically it. So that's how I like it. Right, because I didn't like the hole, what I've done is I put a little rubber cap on there. As you can see, there's the LEDs, there's the selection button, so use a pen or pencil or something to change channels, and to protect it all I just got my little rubber pad. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with that, much happier. Obviously the normal flying position is about so, and that's going to be absolutely spot on perfect. This side, or this side.